Morning everyone. Kevin Rudd's popularity slump hasn't been helped by the federal budget, according to the latest opinion polls. Two surveys out this morning showed Julia Gillard closing in on the PM as preferred Labor leader. With the two-party preferred vote on a knife's edge, the leadership talk won't please ALP heavyweights. Sunrise correspondent Michelle Tapper is in the Prime Minister's home state of Queensland and joins us now from Brisbane. Good morning, Michelle. Now, how are voters there reacting to this?
Good morning, Simon. Well, Kevin Rudd's popularity is definitely waning here in Queensland, and Queensland will be a key battleground during the next election. He had huge support here in 2007, winning a number of seats which are now under threat. Now, the new super mining tax has hit him hard here in Queensland, which is largely a mining state. And today, Wayne Swan heads to WA to talk to mining bosses over there to try and stop that slide in the polls. And the no-frills budget also hasn't helped him gain ground, with only 43% of the Australian public believing that it's good for the economy. And as for Julia Gillard, well, she's continually dismissed suggestions of the top job, but there are rumblings from within the Labor Party, off the record, that some MPs are keen for her to step up. So it does suggest that perhaps the government isn't as unified as what they once were. Simon?
Thank you, Michelle. Michelle Tapper reporting in Brisbane this morning. The unions launch a new national wage case today, wanting another $27 a week for low-paid workers. The ACTU will lodge a claim with Fair Work Australia for a 5% increase to make up for last year's wages freeze. If granted, it would lift the pay packets of about 1.4 million workers to around $570 a week. The ACTU says Treasury's forecasts for growth in last week's budget make a pay rise affordable. A decision is due in July. A man has died in hospital after being pulled from his burning home in North Melbourne. Neighbours dragged the 65-year-old from the house after spotting flames at about 10 p.m. last night. He was rushed to hospital with burns to 60% of his body, but couldn't be saved. Jessica Watson has revealed she had her own doubts before setting off on her round-the-world solo sail. Homecoming celebrations are continuing this morning ahead of her 17th birthday tomorrow.
I absolutely love to think that I've made a few people think that maybe teenagers are a bit more capable than what, some of the credit we give them for.
Her first full day on dry land in 7 months yesterday included a haircut, as fans flocked to see Jess's pink yacht on display at the Sydney Maritime Museum. New figures show Melbourne's waiting list for public housing has surged 15% in 5 years, and supply isn't keeping up with demand. Robert Kearns and his 5 children have been living in a tent for 2 months after the family's rental property was sold.
They don't know what's going on. They're just all confused and up and down all over the place.
41,000 people in Victoria are now on the waiting list. The federal government is today expected to announce $175 million funding towards an extra 547 homes. But at current rates, experts say the new capacity will have been eaten up by the time that they are built. At least 7 people have been killed and hundreds injured after a powerful tornado touched down in northeastern China. The twister knocked down power lines, trees and tore roofs off homes. More than 3,500 people were evacuated from their homes as the tornado swept across the region. Rescue efforts are underway to provide shelter for hundreds of people left homeless. Strong winds and hailstorms are forecast in the area for the next few days.
What have you got weather-wise?
Oh, Barrett's plenty going on, mate. Have you got any idea what you're going to do next? Maybe the first man to cycle solo around the world?
No, I'm going to lie on the couch for 6 months, Grant. Thanks very much.
Well deserved, mate. Enjoy that break. You have certainly earned it, mate. Big effort. We're on a bit of a tour of our own at the moment, sort of classic old school style in the great road warrior that is the fantastic Combi, the classic Road King. It is in the 60th anniversary, which is great. Thank you so much for all your submissions too, suggestions on where we could go while we are in Queensland. We're using them all. In fact, we're going to head west very shortly, which is good, apart from being a little bit unnerving because every kilometre we go west is a kilometre away from a mechanic, because we did find out that whilst losing the headlights last week in the dark, which was a bit inconvenient, I had to use the indicator to see the white line on the road. We discovered we're not allowed to use the headlights and the GPS and the stereo at the same time, otherwise it all blows up. So handy, why not? But it means we get to meet wonderful people like you. Hello, Redcliffe. That's as we take a look at the forecast right around the country.
Sunrise weather Brought to you by CrimSafe Security Doors and Screens. If it's not CrimSafe, it's not CrimSafe.
A late shower or two for Cairns and 29, some rain periods for Mackay, 21 the top, some light rain and 21 for Maroochydore, 15 for Toowoomba, some light rain for Brizzy and 20. Becoming fine for Broken Hill, 20. Showers in Sydney, 20. Fine with some early frost for Canberra at 17. Partly cloudy for Thredbo, 6 degrees. Mostly sunny for Albury and 19. Some early fog in Ballarat and 14. Partly cloudy and 17 for Warrnambool. Some early fog then sunny for Melbourne, 18 the top. Fine and 17 for Launceston and fine for Hobart, 18 degrees. Mostly sunny and 21 for Adelaide today. Partly cloudy and 20 for Port Lincoln. Sunny in Coober Pedy with a top of 21 degrees. Some cloudy periods with some rain forecast for Katherine today with 29 and some rain for Darwin as well with 29. Around Western Australia, the chance of a shower for Albany and 20. Sunny and 22 for Bunbury. Mostly sunny in Perth and 23. A possible shower for Broome at 29 and sunny conditions and a top of 27 in Carnarvon.